Hey, how's it going, YouTube? And happy late Halloween. I do apologize for the late Halloween special video, but how you guys doing? I'm sorry again also for lack of uploads. Truth be told, I got a new job. My life's been pretty hectic, but I've been organizing the Pixelmon Season 3 tournament behind the scenes, so stay tuned for that, as well as follow me on Twitch, link in the description below to watch it live. But anyway, I've been working on some Pixelmon Tournament videos, which take a while, and I decided, let's start a new series, and I wanted to start on Halloween, but I got really busy those days, so I'm doing a late Halloween special. Now, in Pixelmon, there are different palettes. Shiny palettes, which I'm sure you've all seen, as well as like those pink form palettes of certain Kanto Pokemon that you guys have probably all seen. But there's plenty more than just those. In today's video, we're going to be ranking and rating all of the zombie Pokemon palettes in Pixelmon. Now, there is some requirements to get these palettes. The time has to be night, there's a full moon, and the light level at the Pokemon's position is at least 12. There's also no blocks over the Pokemon. If all of those conditions are met, right-click on the Pokemon with a carved pumpkin will convert it into its zombie-themed special texture. And the Pokemon that can do this, well, we're gonna get into now. But real quick, I do want to say, if you enjoy this video, be sure to leave a like and subscribe, as well as comment down below your favorite of the zombie Pokemon in Pixelmon. Also, I do want to say that this isn't meant to, like, bash any of the palettes and stuff. There are going to be some that I don't like. There's going to be some that I like that you don't like. These are just my opinions, and plus, I'm doing this just to show them all off as, like, a cool little thing. So, I know a lot of hard work went into these palettes, and I don't mean any hate or any disrespect if there's some that I don't like. Alright, with all that said, let's just get right into the video. Alright, and the way we're going to be doing this is we're going to be rating them from 1 to 10. 10 being the best, 1 being the worst. Imagine 1 as like your least favorite shiny Pokemon, and then imagine 10 being Shiny Rayquaza, the best shiny Pokemon. Alright, let's begin. Now, this first one technically isn't a zombie form, but it does evolve into Zombie Gyarados, so I'm including it. It is the Roasted Magikarp. You actually get this in a different way. You get this by getting Magikarp struck by lightning. And I gotta say that this is just a really goofy, funny palette. And for that, I'm gonna give it an 8 out of 10. It's not super special, but it's just funny. Alright, and now we're gonna do the king and the inspiration of this video. Zombie Gyarados. Look at this thing. The bloodied up texture on it with the green and then the little red eyes is just phenomenal. I think this is fantastic, and this literally does look like as a zombie would in Pokemon. So with that said, and with how good this Gyarados model is, I'm going to be giving this a 10 out of 10. I think it deserves it. I think, you know, if the bloody textures are a little too much for you, that's fair, but this is just phenomenal work. One thing I am glad is that they didn't just make bloodied up green versions of the Pokemon. They actually did do different stuff with them. Coming up next is the Arcanine. Now, Arcanine, the colors I really like, and I like the design here. I wish it went across the back, because normal Arcanine is kind of marked all over. I love the blue fur with, like, these, like, black mitten paws and the white body, but I really don't like the eyes. I wonder what the inspiration for this was. Surely there's some kind of inspiration for it, but I'm not digging the eyes, and I think the back is just a little too plain, so for that, we're gonna go ahead and give this we'll give it a 6 out of 10. Alright, this next one is easily a 10 out of 10. It's Blastoise, but dressed up as Leonardo from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and he's just all green. This is just a really cool reference, and just a really cool Easter egg in Pixelmon that I really enjoy. Next up as well is also going to be a 10 out of 10. We got the White Charizard. Look at this thing. Now, I was worried because in the sprite work on the left, you see how the flame is orange. I was really nervous when I first saw that, but in the model, it's actually purple, which is just perfect. And I love the black and purple eyes, the purple wings, and you know, I know the white is like a little bit plain, but it works for his design in particular because Charizard's already kind of like a plain colored Pokemon. It really does just look like an evil version of the shiny we all know and love, and I think it's just on equal footing with it, so I'm giving it 10 out of 10. Also, I hope you guys know this video isn't going to be just all like 10 out of 10s. We are getting some of the better ones, though, out of the way first. I put them in a random order. Alright, Ditto's just a goofy little guy. We're going to go 9 out of 10 for him. I just love how goofy it looks. I mean, just it's like Casper the Friendly Ghost, but as a Pokemon, and I love it. And here we have a purple, ghostly-looking Venusaur. Now, I love this purple coloration. I love the eyes. But I really wish the flower on top was just more different. Imagine maybe like a blue flower or something on it, or even just a different shade of purple of a flower. But it's still that default flower. However, I do like the little like face there on like the, I guess like the stem of the plant. But since, you know, the flower really hinders it for me, I'm just gonna go ahead and give this a 7 out of 10. And here we have our first lower rated of the zombie forms, Meganium. Now, you know, this is one of those times where that plain white just doesn't really work. I think maybe it has something to do with the eyes. The flower is super nice though, but I'm just not digging the eyes with this plain white body. So for this one, I'm sorry Meganium fans, but Meganium's gonna get a 3 out of 10. Next up, we got the Zombie Typhlosion texture. Now, I love this thing. I know it's green all over the place, but I really like how the eyes pop. I wish, you know, the flames might have been, like, more brighter or, like, a different color green on the inner part of the flame. But with all that said, I just really like this thing a lot. Just a green Typhlosion. Looks nice. Very into that Halloween zombie theme. For that, we're going to go ahead and give this thing an 8 out of 10. Next up, we got Feraligatr. I'm going to judge this thing fairly heavy because Feraligatr is my favorite Pokemon of all time. But I'm proud to say that I think this is a phenomenal model. I mean, look at this thing. The green Feraligatr with the red eyes is just spectacular. I'm not going to give it a 10 out of 10 because one thing I do miss is that I wish these spikes were... they stood out a little more. I mean, even if I know it's a different shade of green, but I just don't think that this is enough. I mean, normal Feraligator's blue with red spikes. Shiny is like that teal cyan color with just dark blue spikes. I think having dark green and trying to go darker green on the spikes just doesn't work super well. Or maybe if the green, funny enough, was even just darker. I know that seems nitpicky, but it's just details like that that I can't give this thing a 10 out of 10, but I'm easily giving it a 9 out of 10. This thing does look great. Next up is one of the best ones, and it is Blaziken. This is exactly what Blaziken Shiny should have been. I love the blue flames with, like, you know, the black kind of fur, and you still kept the plain, like, default white color to really just kind of separate, you know, the different palettes better. Overall, I absolutely love this thing. This thing is a 10 out of 10. I wish this was the normal shiny for Blaziken, but luckily we got it as the zombie form. This next one, I don't know what it is. I feel like this has to be a reference to something, but I'm really not sure. I think it's just, it's very messy looking. I'm sure if I knew the reference, I'd appreciate it a little more. However, I mean, I just don't think this thing looks good. I'm sorry. I'm giving this thing a 1 out of 10. This is probably the worst zombie form out of all of them. Here we have Delphox going with that classic kind of blue fire-like look that a lot of fire-type shinies and alternate fire-type forms go for. I love the blue flames on the wands. The blue hair on the, like the ears looks nice. And overall, this looks like an alternate version of shiny Delphox, which I don't mind. I don't think it's as good. For this one, I'm just going to give it a, probably going to give it a 9 out of 10 because it does look really good. And I think there's a lot of room for people to love this thing, but I don't think it quite gets that 10 out of 10. Next up, we're going to have Emboar. I'm giving Emboar a 6 out of 10. I think that the colors look really good on it, and I absolutely adore the color of the flames. I know what they were going for with those lifeless eyes, but with the nose being the same exact color, they all just kind of mesh there, and I'm not a huge fan of it, so Emboar is going to get that 6 out of 10. Next up is Empoleon. Empoleon, Man, I love what they did with the eyes on this thing. You know, just like the lifeless looking eyes with the white stained tears. However, this brown color and the dark blue is fine, but the brown just loses me here. I don't like this thing. I think Empoleon here, I'm just gonna have to give it a 4 out of 10. It's on the same road as Meganium. Next up, we got Samurott. I think Samurott's just a safe 5 out of 10. It's alright. I actually do like, the eye color. I'm still torn between how I feel of the body color. I think it works with the eye color, but I think there's just something weird with the eye placements of the Samurott model. With that said, I love the black beard, I love the black armor, but me personally, this doesn't really speak to me a whole lot. So for that, I'm just giving it a 5 out of 10. It's good, it's alright. Next up, we have Torterra, which is one of the better ones in this entire thing. We're gonna go ahead and give it an 8 out of 10. Really, like, I like it a lot. I wish it was a brighter kind of autumn theme than this dull autumn theme, but that is kind of the point of the zombie palette. I also do love the lifeless white glowing eyes. I think that was a really nice touch for this theme, and overall, these autumn colors just look great on Torterra. I'm giving it an 8 out of 10. Now, this Superior looks phenomenal, especially in the nighttime. I love the glow effect that they gave the eyes and like these yellow kind of like accents on it, and I think the dark coloring looks really good. It really looks like a nighttime midnight serpent, and I love that for Superior. I think this is phenomenal. We're gonna go ahead though, we're gonna give it a 7 out of 10 because I understand how this could be seen as more boring, and truth be told, if it wasn't for the glowing eyes, it just wouldn't be that great. So we're gonna go 7 out of 10. Next up is Sableye. This thing is a 10 out of 10. Look how gorgeous this Sableye looks. I love the, like, eyelashes on the Sableye mixed in with, like, these fangs sticking out on the side, and I love the color of the gem eyes. I think it's phenomenal. Alright, next up is Greninja. Now, Greninja's a weird case because I really like the colors that they picked, but I'm not crazy on the placement of them. I understand why they did that, but it honestly might even just be the tongue being that, like, just not really good looking gray on the tongue. I think, you know, if the tongue was maybe green or something, it would have looked a lot better. Overall, I think this is a nice model, and I love, like, the green accents on it, but I really wish some of the colors were moved around a little bit there, so for that, I'm gonna go ahead and give Greninja just a solid 6 out of 10. Alright, now, and we're on to our last three. Let's go with Infernape, the blue flamed Infernape. Now, I really like the colors of this Pokemon. I wish the eyes, I know it's zombie themed, but I do wish they popped a little more for this thing. But with that said, the blue flames, I like it. I don't love it, so I'm just gonna go ahead and give it a 5 out of 10. Now, this Sceptile does a really good job at just colors and fitting with the zombie theme. The empty black eyes with, like, the black tears on it with this really awesome purple, like, shading that's all over it. You got all types of different purples here that just look phenomenal on it, and then plus with the really dark tail looking like kind of like a dead tree on its tail. I absolutely love this thing. We're gonna go ahead and give this thing a 9 out of 10. This is a phenomenal design for a zombie Sceptile. And last but maybe least is Swampert. Yeah, I'm not crazy about this thing. It literally just looks like Swampert took Hulk's color palette and with the lifeless white eyes. I'm just not digging it. I think something better could have been done for Swampert, so I'm just gonna go ahead and give this thing, we're gonna give it 3 out of 10. At least the other ones that were 4 out of 10, while they didn't look great, they had a more uniqueness to them. This just doesn't really look all that exciting at all. Alright, with all that said, these are all the zombie palettes for Pixelmon. We got the Roasted Magikarp, Zombie Gyarados, Zombie Arcanine, Zombie Blastoise, Zombie Charizard, Zombie Ditto, Zombie Venusaur, Zombie Meganium, Zombie Typhlosion, Zombie Feraligatr, Zombie Blaziken, Zombie Chestnut, Zombie Delphox, Zombie Emboar, Zombie Empoleon, Zombie Samurott, Zombie Torterra, Zombie Superior, Zombie Sableye, Zombie Greninja, Zombie Infernape, Zombie Sceptile, and Zombie Swampert. Now, we almost have a full box full, and I would love for Pixelmon to do some more of the zombie palette Pokemon. I think overall, like, this collection looks really nice. Even the lower rated ones, I think, are unique enough that I would definitely collect these in a Pixelmon world, and I definitely plan to. So with all that said, be sure to leave a like, subscribe, and comment down below your personal favorite in the zombie palette series. My top 2 are number 1 Charizard, number 2 Gyarados. However, honorable mention to that Ditto and the Sceptile. Those look great. But yeah, with all that said, I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your day or night, depending on when you're watching this. And watch this video right here on screen for some more awesome Pixelmon content. And guys, stay tuned. I know my most popular series on the YouTube channel is the Pixelmon Tournament. Pixelmon Tournament Season 3. It is getting closer and closer. It'll be live streamed live on my Twitch. Link in the description to check that out. And there'll be an awesome video on it, just like I did for Seasons 1 and 2. So be sure to check those out. But yeah, with all that said, see you guys next time.